Greetings. Welcome to the Pineview Wildlife Rehabilitation Education Center, a nonprofit organization founded back in 1981. My name is Jeannie Lord. I'm the Executive Director, Founder, and Master Cage Cleaner. February in our geographical area brings spring babes. As early as February, fox, squirrel, and cottontails are born, and simultaneously the first of the birds of prey also are on eggs, and that would be the great horned owls. This is Koda. She is an educational ambassador. She's one of the reasons why we do what we do. We're also here to share the do's and don'ts when you encounter a baby bird or an animal, cottontail rabbit, fox, coyote, whatever you find or come across. We're going to provide some data for you today. Koda's here as an educational bird, not because she was hit by a car, shot, or caught in a still echo trap. She's here today because someone tried to make a pet out of her. You'll hear during this presentation 2 different times, there is no such thing as a pet wild animal. No crow, no opossum, no turtle, no owl should be brought into your home. First of all, in many cases, depending on your geographic area, it's against the law. Secondly, they do not make good pets. There is no such thing as a pet wild animal. If you come across an injured owl, or a young owl, or a young hawk, or a frog, or a toad, or a turtle, it's okay to look to learn but leave it. And if you think there needs to be intervention, if there are flies around it, if it's bleeding, if there are cats or dogs or a lot of children around that is stressing it out, all you have to do is call your local rehabilitator. We will guide you through the do's and don'ts, to include, don't bring it into your home unless you spoke to one of us. 2, do not provide food and water. That could further set back any progress that that animal would make, or that bird would make, or reptile in our possession. Koda is here because typically at the end of March, some of the young owlets will begin to spread their wings, as it were. They'll begin to navigate the nest, begin stretching their wings, and quite often they will flap, fly, and land on the ground. That's what happened to Koda. When she was about 6 weeks old, she flopped out of the nest. A family in Wisconsin chose, rather than to call one of us as a rehabilitator, DNR, or their local humane society, to bring Koda into the house. At that point, the bird was kept in a kennel cab for 4 weeks. It was also fed inappropriate food. Birds of prey consume other birds and animals, to include mice, voles, salamanders, snakes, turtles in spring. They'll also pick up something the size of a large cottontail rabbit. In addition to being exposed to the wrong food, which included steak, hot dogs, and hamburgers, which caused this bird to become debilitated, it was exposed to the family sights, sounds, and noises. Long story short, this bird cannot be returned to the wild because it is bonded with humans, and we call that imprinting. It identifies with us rather than its own species. As a result of that, she does not have the consciousness to mate or to breed. And why that is so important is that 50% of the owls, the great horns that are born in spring, will be dead by Christmas. They are shot, hit by cars, still echo traps, poisoned. Also, the newest in the last couple years globally are the owls being bound and caught and trapped in soccer nets. Many times this will cause pain, unnecessary suffering, and because of loss of blood and damage to the wings, they will be euthanized. So our message today is no such thing as a pet wild animal. Call someone, call a rehabilitator, call the DNR. They will direct you to one of us that we can do what's best for that animal. They do not belong in your home.